Hello, friends. Thank you for joining me for episode 136. I'm Kathy Roats, and today we're going to think differently about a character in history. This past Sunday in history, thousands of years ago, this past Sunday is known as Palm Sunday. Whether you're a person of faith or not, it's still a piece of our history. If you are a person of faith, you might know the story. So according to history, this is the day when Jesus rode into Jerusalem on a donkey. And people honored him. They put blankets and coats on the donkey for him to sit on. Then they put palm branches down on the path that he was walking on. And so the donkey and Jesus, they were walking on the palm branches. This was a way for them to honor him. Well, if you know the story, you also know what happened 5 days later. The same people who were laying down palm branches to honor Jesus crucified him. Well, that story, that's for a whole different time. We're going to back up a little bit and talk about the Palm Sunday event where they were honoring him, and he was riding into Jerusalem on a donkey. Now, you can find the full story in the Bible. Matthew, Luke, and John talk about the full story. Also, I giggled. I giggled because I'm in the process of reading John Maxwell's new book, The 16 Undeniable Laws of Communication. And in the book, he also references the story of Palm Sunday. But he has a different flair to the story. Let's just say he's thinking differently about this story. You know, rather than focusing on the main character of the story of Jesus, John was focusing on somebody different. And this is exactly who I want to focus on here today with you. We're going to focus on the donkey. You know, have you ever thought about, maybe you've never thought about this story, but right now, let's think about it together. Let's think about this donkey who's carrying the king on his shoulders. In John Maxwell's book, he says this. He says, you know, the donkey kind of perked up his ears as they started traveling into Jerusalem and said, well, I had no idea that they thought so well of me. Look at me. I had no idea that they thought so well of me. Oh, Mr. Donkey, Mr. Donkey, Mr. Donkey. Yeah, he's clueless. Right? No one's looking at him. He's just the ass carrying the king. Oh, the donkey is the vehicle carrying the king. Now, what does this have to do with communication? Well, in the book here, the chapter that John Maxwell is talking about is the law of connecting. And this section of this chapter is about the different keys to connecting with others. And key number 1 is realize that you are not the main attraction. If we want to connect with others, we have to realize that we're not the main attraction. Now, we might be the boss, we might be the leader, we might be the speaker, we might be the trainer, we might be the main attraction according to the hierarchy or according to the agenda. But if we really want to connect with people, we need to first realize that we're not the main attraction. Mr. Donkey was not the main attraction. That was not his job going into Jerusalem that day. It was not to get all the attention. And actually, he didn't get the attention. So how disappointing is he when he doesn't even get a pat on the back? When we realize, regardless of our position, regardless of the opportunities that we're given, when we realize we're not the main attraction, the people we're talking to are, the people that we're leading are, that's when our leadership soars. That's when our influence soars. You know, as a leader, you have opportunities, amazing opportunities. Not only do you have opportunities to go places and talk to people, but you have opportunities with your team. You get to give promotions. You get to give compliments. You get to empower your team members to grow and develop into the successful people they're able to be. You get to lead successful teams who complete successful projects. And yeah, you know what? To be honest, when you are leading a successful team and the team wants to be honored, it's many times that the leader is given the attention. But in reality, you're not the king. You're not the one who did all the hard work. You're not the one who should really get the accolades. You're the servant leading that team. You're the servant carrying the king. You're carrying those that are doing the hard work. They're doing the magic. So I want you to ask yourself, what kind of leader are you? What kind of leader are you? Are you a servant leader? Or are you a bad ass? Or are you a dumbass? Or a smart ass? Or are you a good servant leader who knows your place and your value to the team? You're carrying the load. You're not looking for the attention or the promotions or the accolades or the extra goodies. You're carrying the team to encourage them, to empower them, to equip them with whatever it is that they need to do the magic that they're built to do. Do you lead in a way that shows that you know you're not the main attraction? You're not looking for the attention. You are willing to prepare the path that your team needs to travel. So, how do servant leaders lead in this way? Maybe you are a good servant leader already. Maybe there's room to grow. How? How can servant leaders lead in this way? Well, number one, you need to recognize and own your role. You know, if you're that donkey, you're the vehicle to get your team where they need to go. You are the one who gets to notice their good work and compliment them. You are also the one that needs to carry the load. You need to carry the disappointments. You need to carry the complaints that might come your way. But you're not looking for any other type of accolade. You need to own your role. And number two, you need to work toward the vision of your organization, not toward your own agenda. This is not easy. This is not easy at all, because we are creative people and we have passions. And when we have a passion, it's so much more fun and empowering to work toward our passion. So we may have chosen to work for an organization or chosen to say yes to a certain project because it matches our visions and our missions. But you need to work toward the vision of your organization, the vision and mission of your team. This isn't about you. It's not about your agenda. It's not about what you want to see. This is about where your team needs to go. So, what I'd like you to do in the next week or two, I'd like you to find yourself a serving tray. And just an old-fashioned serving tray, a tray that you use at the dinner table to serve dinner or to serve the rolls or to serve the dessert. Find yourself a serving tray. And I want you to physically use it this week. I want you to physically carry something to your team members. Maybe it's a treat. Maybe it's a tool, maybe whatever, get creative. What does your team need? Maybe your team is your family. Maybe it's your spouse. Maybe it's your kids. Maybe it's something you're going to serve for a holiday weekend meal. But I want you to physically put it on your tray, and I want you to use it as your own humble reminder that you're not the king. You're not the savior. You're not the one in the limelight. You're not the one that should be in the limelight. Your team is. Your job as a leader is to make your team look good. Your job as an employee is to make your boss look good. You need to focus in on how you can humbly serve. So carry this tray, fill it with whatever it is your team needs, and offer it up as a reminder that you are just the ass carrying the load.